Just waiting to see if anybody will pop on. Mm-hmm. Um, I just dropped Donovan off at work. Um, I've been up baking pumpkin bread for my son to give away at his job. Joey, not Donovan. Hey, Tina. Um, and I made it just a big batch of small loaf um, pumpkin bread. I've got one set aside for Pop that I'm taking him tomorrow because he loves it. It's my mom's recipe, and his hearing aid batteries. But hey, Willow. Um, but I did that, and I got a phone call from the nurse, and he was refusing to eat again tonight because he didn't like, and I quote, that garbage they're trying to feed him, so he would not eat. And the nurse called asking for tips on how to get him to eat. Hey, Barbara, I don't know what to tell him because the only difference is it's a diabetic diet. I don't know how to cook for diabetics, even though I am a diabetic and I have a house full of diabetics. The only one in the house that isn't a diabetic yet is Donovan. So I have no idea what to tell him. Um, he has dug his heels in, and I tried to explain to him, Pop, you want to come home, you got to eat something. You got to build your strength back up. And, I cuss like a sailor. And at times, Pop can too. He was quite ornery. I spent 15 minutes trying to convince this man just to eat a little bit. Applesauce, a banana, something. They were willing to give him everything as long as it followed his diet, his diabetic diet. So I'm taking him the pumpkin bread. He'll probably eat that. I know, but I took him some salt, and I took him some Mrs. Dash um, uh, um the house blend of Mrs. Dash to throw in his food to give it some flavor. So, and they're mincing it up for him so he can chew it because he won't wear his dentures. I told him, I said, here I'm sitting, I want to go to dentist and have my mouth fixed, and you got a whole set of dentures you won't even wear. So, 15 minutes trying to convince him to eat something, and he will not eat anything. She called back after I got off the phone with him and told me that he did eat a cup of applesauce and an ice cream cup. So now I know when we get there tomorrow, that's all he's going to be talking about is the diet, and he don't like this, that, and the third. But he's not getting that, in the hospital, they always give him a diabetic diet. Always. He wants to come home, and he thinks that doing all this stuff is going to get them to kick him out of there. And she says the next step, if he don't start eating what he is, they'll put a feeding tube in him, just to give him the nutrients he needs. So I don't know. I feel like I'm bashing my. Hey, Salty. I feel like I'm bashing my head against the wall where this man is concerned. He is so stubborn, so stubborn. Donovan thinks to slip him in some McDonald's or something like that, but that kind of defeats the purpose. They're trying to be this enabler, even though I don't follow car away from the it's bad enough that I'm taking the pumpkin bread in there, but with the pumpkin bread, it's tiny. I've said that people are diagnosed. You cook a certain way for your whole life. You eat a certain way for your whole life. That you get okay. You're diabetic. You have carb rich board. It's cheaper. I mean, I want, I don't know. I'm frustrated. I'm so frustrated. Um, goodness, I keep fading in and out. I don't know why, but I'm taking him the pumpkin bread, and I'm going to pick him up some the no sugar candy, the ones I know for a fact that he likes. I'm gonna give him little things to make him feel like he's, sneaking, and maybe he'll put more effort at eating the stuff that they're giving him. I'm also gonna bring him some. That's what I'm saying. And I can't afford to do that. I'm sitting here scraping and begging. It feels like begging everybody for gas. I can't afford to feed him like he wants to be fed there and eat all that stuff that he wants. He was begging for freaking tacos from Taco Bell. Bring me a taco. Bring me a soft taco. Um, and he's already stubborn, but this was 10 times more than what he normally is. I feel guilty if I go him without. Go, let him go without. And he makes me feel guilty. He knows he makes me feel guilty. Um, and if I don't go every day, like today when we finally got to see him, he said he felt abandoned. He he felt abandoned. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to take him the little pumpkin bread. I froze him another bottle of milk, and I froze him another bottle of water. So that's going. I know. I'm not. I refuse. I'm trying to dig my heels into. I got some stubborn in me too. But if somebody pushes hard enough at me, I end up caving. I'm trying to stay strong. I know. I think there's more damage going on mentally in his brain than they know. They still haven't got him in an MRI. I'm not gonna. And I put pecans in it and raisins. I normally. I know. I don't know. Yes, I do. It hates doing. It hates being. I hate being the. It kind of makes me feel like a bad parent, even though he's my parent. That's what it kind of feels like. But I'm gonna do it. Yeah, yeah, that's true, Willow. Um, and we're already working out. I was talking to Arthur earlier, and we were talking about what we were gonna do for like Christmas dinner. uh if it's certain things, if they just add something to it, like the seasoning. He's so stubborn right now, he won't even try the seasoning I sent him, or that I took in with him. He's got. I know. To start following those same, because I'm diabetic. I'm diabetic as hell, and I don't eat diabetic. I got a carrot cake, a carrot bar cake at the house because I was craving it. But the thing with me and sweets is I can take that carrot bar cake that they sell in the grocery store, and that sucker will last me a week. If I got Pop one, it'll last him a day and a half. Donovan, a day and a half. Jay, a half a day. Thank God he don't like it. Um, I like something sweet here and there, but it gets too much. I know. Poor little old Donovan's out here in the parking lot doing getting buggies, and he didn't even see me. He didn't even see me sitting here doing this live. He probably thinks I went on home. He looks frustrated already. They give him such a hard time when I'm not here. And I keep trying to get Donovan to understand, baby, it's all right to defend yourself politely. If you have to explain, okay, they're trying to get onto him about being faster. Demayan! Hi, son. How are you doing?
What are you doing?
I'm doing a live.
Get out of here.
But I'm trying to get him to understand that he can defend himself politely without getting in trouble. I need to cut all this purple out. Um, he he gets frustrated, and I'll get a message from him 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning that they're on me about my speed, mom, and and I told them when they hired him, he's slow. This is the pace he works at, and they still try to get on him. And now if I'm here, they tend to back off a little bit because I get kind of irate when it comes to my babies. Arthur, when Arthur worked here, they tried to coach him on about his performance, but yet they say he's one of his best. They say he was one of the best employees they had, and they didn't want him to leave, and yada yada yada. Turns out the guy that tried to coach him, they overturned the coaching because Arthur was a good worker. Donovan's a good worker too. Yeah. No, if he was in the way I think, Willow, if he was in survivor mode, he'd be eating anything they put in front of him. Now, I will say that when I didn't get to go see him yesterday, and then the day he felt abandoned because I wasn't able to get over there, he actually ate their food because nobody, his problem is now, one of the big problem he has now is he can't, if he's not sitting upright, he makes a mess. He knocks over everything because he's so unstable with his hands. And that's part of this brain injury. So he has to sit upright and be close to where he can feed himself. If not, somebody needs to be there. And I said this today in front of the man that was doing his rehab. This is what needs to be happening. So the man, the physical therapist and the occupational therapist heard me telling Pop, what he needed to do and let everybody know. So he heard the problems Pop was having as far as eating and knocking everything over. Hopefully they'll do something about it. I do not want to be that family member that calls up there and raises hell about Pop's treatment. Oh, yeah, okay. That makes sense. Yeah, I know they won't. She point blank told me that, they don't want to have to give him a feeding tube. So the man heard everything. Occupational therapist and the physical therapist heard, his difficulties eating and everything. And I pointed out again to this man about my Pop's. See, the problem with me, my inner bitch, to be honest, is I'm my father's daughter. When growing up, my father had a really, really nasty temper. Now, not nasty to where he had a nasty temper. He was. There's a lot of things I know he said on his lives that he's regretted, doing, growing up or whatever. Growing up, he had a nasty, nasty temper. And he would go from 0 to 60. That's me now. I'm my father's daughter. I have a nasty temper. And throw in menopause, honey. Oh my goodness. Throw in menopause. It's not a nice mix. So I try to, if I can't walk away from a situation, I get really nasty. And I get nasty to the point, everybody's pointing out Karen this, Karen that. I will be that Karen. So that's the problems I have now, is just I'm trying to rein in the temper, and I don't want to get it to that point. On top of that, if you get it to that point, what's a guarantee these people are not going to take it out on him and mistreat him? So I don't want him mistreated, and I don't want to go to jail. So that's kind of self-preservation on my part. Me and jail don't mix. I went one time, never again in my life. Do not want to go to jail. You don't mess with my family. My middle son, there's a girl that broke his heart, and if I ever see this girl, I plan on planting foot in her ass. I sure do. No parent wants to sit back and hear their son wish, or son or daughter wish they were dead because of how somebody else treated them. Woo! That one there still gets me heated. Even though he's in a whole new relationship, engaged and fixing to get married and all that nice stuff, I still want to put hands on that girl. And it's same with Pop, you know. Yeah, I'm that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Willow, I'm literally, you know, I took everything he had to say. I didn't get mad at him tonight, which was amazing. Even though in my head, you're acting like a 2-year-old. He's confused, and he's acting the way he's acting for a reason. He hates the food because it has no taste, and he thinks it's disgusting. Yada yada yada. I just got to figure out. He's got to eat, and I don't know how to go about getting him to eat other than what I'm doing, like the salt and the salt and the oh my goodness, Mrs. Dash seasoning. What's next? I don't know. I have no idea. Oh my goodness. What's next is I'm fixing to take my butt home and get into bed. Jay's got school tomorrow. I got to drop him off. Pick Donovan up, and then me and Donovan are going over there. Donovan's off the next 2 days, so I don't have to drive all the way over here to town. Yeah, that's the only thing I can do is one day at a time. You know, it seems like year after year after year, it's just stuff keeps rolling in. I don't know if this is my karma for the choices I made growing up and whatever. If it is, it may, you know, maybe I did some real foul stuff to somebody, and this is just my karma. I don't know, but I don't think I'd change anything. I don't think I'd change anything. You know, I just hope things get better. But that's what's going on with Pop. Whew, buddy. Whew. We're gonna. Hey, you know, that's a good idea. I could bribe him with fruit. He loves those, oh my gosh, what are those chocolate covered cherries that, you know, they cut the Sella chocolate covered cherries in the red aluminum foil that usually comes out about the holidays. Pop loves them damn things. Oh my goodness. He loves them. If I always get him a box of those Sella chocolate covered cherries for Christmas. You know, I could sneak him in one every, you know, you eat your food and I'll bring you one in. That might work. That might actually work. That in whole cashews. He loves whole, but he can't eat the whole cashews right now because he's not got his dentures and he refuses to wear them. Huh. Ooh, that kind of put a whole different a spin on it. She always did it from scratch. She made her noodles and everything from scratch. It takes a minute, but I could do that. I was talking about doing that for a Christmas dinner this year instead of like a turkey or ham or something. Do like an Italian with the salad and the you know, some garlicky strolls or something like that, and the he really likes that, so I am bringing him that for Christmas dinner because we know he'll be there at least a month. He's got a cardiologist appointment on the 28th or 29th that the rehab will actually take him to. And I'll meet him there for that appointment. So we're going to find out what his heart's doing and if there's any fluid around it and all that nice stuff. And we have it's a GI doctor. And you know what? That's a good idea. I'm gonna take him a Diet Pepsi. They don't want him to drink that stuff, but at least that would get him more interested in eating their food if he had something like that. He don't want no coffee. He's not asking for any coffee, which is amazing. Now my brain's running. Now there are all kind of different things I could do. But ladies and gentlemen, I will hopefully we catch him in the room tomorrow and not in the gym, so I can do a live with him. Maybe y'all can get on to him then about eating. But I will talk to you tomorrow. If I mix, he will. I'm telling you, that thickener. He sips it. If it's in there, he won't. He puts it down. That's it. He won't touch it.